All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is May 6, 2026. My name is Coach Carignan, lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here today. I hope everyone made some money. Let's go take a look at the markets, see how we did today, see what the guidance was, see how the guidance was traded. Let's move this out of the way and take a peek at the guidance. So, hey, before I get started tomorrow, Members e-learning starting at noon. Doug Campbell's going to kick it off. Then myself, then Rick. Okay, it's going to be on selecting universes. This is member e-learning. So if you don't see me here in the room, I'll be over there in the combo room. All right, so that's tomorrow at noon in the combo room. All right, let's see what we got for guidance for today. And here we go, right here. Okay, so I'll trade a 10-minute downtrend below 719.50 to the gap fill. I don't think that was today's guidance. Let's try something else. Okay, here we go. I'll trade a 10-minute downtrend below 721.50 to the gap fill, which happens to be 718.08, and then lower to 715. All right, so let's take a peek if that panned out. All right, so let's take a look at the market. Let's move this over. Move this down. Okay, push this up. And let's take a look at the market here. Okay, so below 721. Okay, which happens to be down here. Okay, and we did not get below 721. Okay, so that was the guidance there for at the beginning. Okay, below 721.50. So we did not get below 721.50, which was the beginning of the open gap from yesterday's gap up. All right, so we didn't get below that, so we didn't have a downward trade. So let's take a look at it one more time. And on the upside, I said I plan to trade 10-minute uptrend over 722 to the prior all-time high, which was 725, and then the pre-market high 731.67. So let's see what we got there. Okay, so we got 722, which let's put a line in here. This would be 722, right about there. You can see price never even got close to 722. All right, so where does the 10-minute uptrend start? All right, so let's take a look at the pre-market. Had a little 10-minute pullback right here. Crossover, 10-minute uptrend starts right here on that upside down sword candle. Okay, the business end's pointed down. That means price is probably going to go up when the business end is pointed down. When the business end is pointed up on the sword candle, it means price is rolling over to head back lower. Okay, when it's pointed down, price is dipping under and looking to rise up higher. Okay, so there's your sword candle. That was a clue. Bulls bought it up. Bulls bought it up. 2 candles in a row up over VWAP. Price rips up over this. So we had a 10-minute uptrend right through here. Little pullback to VWAP. All right, buy the dip, and then let it rip to new all-time highs. So price made new all-time high for today. QQQ. Let's take a look at it on the 10-minute. 10-minute chart, you got daylight between the 3 EMA and the 8 EMA. Okay, daylight between the 3 and the 8. So you got 10-minute uptrend coming into the close. 2-hour chart. All right, you got daylight between the 3 EMA and the 8 EMA right up here. You got a 2-hour uptrend coming into the close. Daily chart, new all-time high. Doesn't get any better than that. Okay, so that's bullish and then an uptrend. Weekly chart, monthly chart, both of those are bullish and in an uptrend. If the daily's in a bullish and an uptrend making a new all-time high, then the weekly and the monthly are doing the same thing. All right, so there's the 2-hour chart. So there's the guidance. So the guidance worked out again today if you traded the guidance. A 10-minute uptrend, okay, over 722 on up to 725 and then 731.67. Okay, so here you can see it started right here at about 729. So we got all the way up over 725, obviously, because we started out over it. And then we were looking for the pre-market high right there. That's the pre-market high. You can see it's 731.64. Okay, so we're going for the pre-market high. Pull back to VWAP. All right. You can see the bullish engulfing, get back in, and then you got an uptrend to make a new high. Price rips to make a new high. Okay, so beautiful trade right there. We hit our target, took some profits into strength. I bought calls. I bought a lot of calls, okay, just to trade that uptrend. Okay, so mostly you can see here's calls. Trying to buy that one. That's a put. Okay, buying calls, selling into strength. Buying calls, selling into strength. Buying calls, selling into strength right there. More calls. Looks like I'm still holding those. That's a spread. Bought more calls there. More calls there. More calls here. Selling into strength. Selling into strength. Again. And selling into strength right there. Okay, so bought calls and we sold into strength. Okay, so that's what we traded today. If you didn't make money, I do free coaching. All right, I'm here for you. I want to help you succeed. So just hook me up. Just let me know. I'll be happy to help anybody. Okay, out there. I like to see people succeed. A lot of people should have succeeded in the room. I didn't get any feedback, but I did get a few people said they did good. CP did good. I saw that. All right, so you can see we're bullish. I got no signs of exhaustion. I got no signs of rollover. I do got some divergence, but they don't have to take care of that divergence today. Okay, so they could take care of it tonight. They could take care of it tomorrow. They could blow it off and make it bigger. All right, make the divergence even bigger. So they may run all the way up to 740 tonight. All right, maybe even 745. We'll see what happens tonight in the overnight session. So let's go around the horn here. Let's look at some of the other charts. Let's look at QQQ. All right, QQQ, you can see, take a 10-minute uptrend up to the pre-market high. Again, that worked out. And price ripping to new highs right there. So new all-time high, 10-minute uptrend into the close, 2-hour uptrend into the close, new all-time high on the QQQ. That's bullish and in an uptrend. All right, weekly chart, bullish and in an uptrend. Monthly chart, bullish and in an uptrend. Okay, so there's QQQ. Let's come back over here to the daily chart. Let's look at IWM. Okay, IWM, new all-time high, obviously going to be bullish and in an uptrend. New all-time high right there. Okay, FNGU. FNGU, new rally high. All right, so that's bullish and in an uptrend. Okay, closing over the all-time high anchored VWAP up here in the upper third. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow got a new rally high today, right there. I think so. Let's see what we got here. High is 99.93. High is 500.08. Okay, so new rally high for Diamond Dow. Not a new all-time high, but a new rally high. Okay, so that's bullish and in an uptrend for Diamond Dow. Let's take a look at silver and gold. All right, silver put in a higher low, a higher high, closed over bullish cross over the flat 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, still in the bottom of quadrant 3. So that's neutral, and there's a high, and there's a higher high, neutral and in an uptrend for silver. Let's take a look at gold. Gold, no higher high, so still in a downtrend. Gold, higher low, higher high. Closing over a bearish trap over the flat 17, under the all-time high anchored VWAP, bottom of quadrant 4, that's bullish, still in a downtrend. They have not made a higher high yet. Okay, let's take a look at USO. Okay, USO having a steep pullback today, but no lower lows. Lower high, lower low, closed underneath a bearish cross or underneath a bullish trap, closing underneath the rising 17 EMA, closing in the bottom of quadrant 4. That's still bullish, all right, and still in an uptrend. They haven't made any lower lows. Let's take a look at UNG. Lower high, lower low, closing underneath bullish trap, closing underneath falling 17. Let's zoom way out. This is the all-time low. This is a 12-month high. This is a 12-month high anchored VWAP. Okay, so we have not made any higher highs. We made a lower low and a lower high today. We're still in a downtrend, and we're still down here at the bottom of quadrant 1. So that's bearish, still in a downtrend. Let's take a look at market internals. T2101, market made new all-time highs. Nice to see the breadth increase a little bit. Okay, see the breadth? Instead of dipping lower and lower and lower, the market was getting thinner. We're getting more people coming in as market's making new highs. That's a bullish sign. For me, it is. T2122, we continue to camp out between the buyer's chop zone and the buy zone. So that's bullish. That's another bullish clue there. See the market gap up, and the bears never filled the gap for QQQ, SPY, a lot of the other ones, all right? Another bullish clue that the bears couldn't get the gap to get filled, all right? So showing you bullish control. The bulls have the ball, and they're scoring. They're not scoring, but they're making first downs anyways. So T2123, bullish. Again, look at this from the right side of the white line. The majority of the yellow line stays over the bullish side. Okay, so this would be the bulls. This would be the bears. Only a couple times we dip down here. And each time we dip, the bulls come in and rescue the price action. Let's take a look at T2123. New all-time high for T2123. Look at this, another bullish gap up, not filled by the bears. Again, we move up again today and hold the higher ground. So that's over the rising 200. So that's bullish and in an uptrend, T2123. It's going to be the same on the 3-bar chart. You can see that was the all-time high before. You can see clearly, you can see daylight up there. So that's bullish and in an uptrend. Again, over the rising 200 SMA. Take a peek at FNGU. And FNGU gaps up. Bears never filled that gap either. We gap up, hold the higher ground. Again, making consistent new rally highs up there over the rising 200. That's where you want to be if you're a bull. Okay, so that's bullish and in an uptrend for FNGU on the 15-minute. Let's take a look at the US dollar index. Still in a downtrend. We have not made any higher highs. Okay, since we made this lower low right here. So got a low here, made a lower low. So we're still in a downtrend on the dollar index. This is the 2025 high. This is like a 6-7 month drop of a daily downtrend. And then we pull into this bear flag. And we got like a 10-month, 8-month bear flag where price consolidates inside this bear flag. Notice the flag is now longer than the flagpole. Flagpole was only 6 months. The flag, all right, the fabric is drooping on the ground. So there's US dollar index in a daily downtrend, now in a bear flag right there. All right, I'll take questions in the room. If there's any questions, shoot them up there. I'll be happy to take care of them. If not, let's do it again tomorrow. All right, so if the guidance didn't help you, give me some feedback, because I think the guidance should be helping everybody. I think you all should have profits if you're following the guidance. So if the guidance is not helping you, please say something so that I can do something that would, in the verbiage, that may help you find a clearer definition of what we're looking for. All right, so please speak up. All right, because I just want everybody to make money. Gene says Thanks, John. Another best day ever after yesterday's best day ever. I got to share it. I got to share it. Thanks, Gene. I love it. Wonderful day from Alan. Thanks. Oh, love it, Alan. Thanks for sharing all the props, the kind words. I appreciate that. I guess got a beautiful group of people here. Thank you. All right, traders. Tomorrow we're going to have members e-learning. Okay, so I'll see you all tomorrow. Everybody have a beautiful evening. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and so glad I could help you. All right, have a great night.